morning. I'm Amy Stein, and I'm the Executive Director of the Rochester Education Foundation. Our mission is to provide programs and resources to improve learning and success for all Rochester City School students through partnerships with educators, businesses, and the community. We are the convener of the Rochester College Access Network. RCAN is made up of school counselors, educators, admissions and financial aid professionals from local colleges and universities, and community partners. I want to acknowledge our new Director of College Access Initiatives, Janae Slade, who just joined us on Monday. We are grateful for all of our partners, volunteers, and sponsors, including the Community Foundation, ESL, Daisy Marquis Jones, the Women's Foundation of Genesee Valley, Excelis, and all of our partners who you will hear speak this morning. RCAN, along with our partners, work to make it easier for city students to access college. One of the key things that this team does is help students and families fill out the free application for federal student aid. The FAFSA form can be difficult, and that's why we're here to help, because filling out this form will provide students with opportunities and choices as they decide on next steps for their education and for their life. We will hold several FAFSA Fest events at accessible locations throughout the city to help students and families fill out the form. There will also be a training session for volunteers and an information session for parents and families at the Rochester Educational Opportunity Center, as well as 2 days of drop-in help at the Central Library. There is a list of all of these sessions and what to bring to the FAFSA Fest that can be found at rochestercan.org. We will provide free food and help from beginning to end. We want to help as many students as possible fill out the form. And now it's my honor to welcome our host for this press conference, Superintendent Dr. Carmine Peluso.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you. Free food. I can't wait. I'm going. But thank you. This is such an exciting morning for us here at RCSD. I want to welcome all of our partners from the Rochester Education Foundation, RCAN, the City of Rochester, the Urban League, and the Education Trust. Going to college is an opportunity of a lifetime, and many of our seniors will soon decide where they want to go. It's an anxious time where we all have butterflies in our stomach, and I remember that extremely well. I'm grateful that we have outstanding students with bright futures ahead of them and know they have the ability to achieve and dream of going to college. I remember sitting at the kitchen table doing the FAFSA form with my mother. Right? Having support is extremely important. It was a frustrating process for us, and I know that now that our kids will have what they need to help them get through this process. We know how complicated it could be. I'm thankful we have the resources to put students in touch with counselors who could help them navigate the application process for federal student aid. Whether it's helping students and families get online, answering financial aid questions, or even giving someone a ride, thank you to everyone here today for providing helpful ways to assist our students. I hope everyone will take advantage of these wonderful opportunities in October, November, and December. I want to welcome our partners in city government. Our Mayor, Malik Evans, is a former RCSD student, a former RCSD school board member, and I want to thank him for his commitment to our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmine. Thank you, everyone. It's great to be back here in this room, although the meetings in this room go on and on and on. They last forever, man. Meetings at City Council don't go that long. But I want to say thank you, Dr. Peluso, and to Amy, and thank you also to the Rochester Education Foundation, the Rochester College Access Network, and everyone that is contributing to this effort. You know, I remember filling out my FAFSA form. Both of my parents went to college. I had three older brothers and sisters that went to college, but that form was still intimidating for us that were familiar with it. So imagine if you have not had access to anyone who may not have had experience with higher education, what that form means. And I know I break out in hives whenever somebody hands me a form. I don't even like going to the doctor's office and getting those forms. So imagine that FAFSA form, which can be intimidating. So it's good to have support from a broad community that will be able to do that. So I believe that together we can boost the city students who can take advantage of financial aid and go to college. And I always tell people, it may sound cliche, but it is true. It takes a village. And the people in Rochester are stepping up to help out to be able to do that. The city saw a way to contribute by opening 2 of our R centers, and I'm sure Dr. Green will touch on this, to the FAFSA Fest this year to make it easier for students and families to get the help with their forms. We are glad to be able to do this, and I thank Commissioner Green for making the space available in our R centers. If students don't live near one of the 2 R centers, then there will be a shuttle bus, thanks to the contributions of the Urban League. So thank you, Dr. Hawkins, for stepping up and helping out. Every year, this program is growing as more and more businesses and nonprofits take a leadership role in ensuring Rochester students have the opportunities they need to be successful. It is a long and expanding list, and I'm not surprised, but it always is important to say thank you. We always talk about what we don't have. Let's talk about what we do have, and what we have are some great organizations in this city that are not just talking about it, they are being about it. I want all of our students to have access to the best education possible, and that includes a chance to go to college. Now let me be clear here. Not everyone's gonna go to college. Not everyone's gonna buy a home, but they should have the opportunity to. They should have the opportunity to, and that is what this initiative does. I don't want our students and their families to think that college is out of reach, because it is in reach if they want to go. But you need to get these FAFSA applications in early to be considered for the full range of grants and scholarships. These can make a tremendous difference when trying to cover college costs. So moms, dads, students, grandma, aunt, uncle, get those forms in. That's why getting and putting together this FAFSA Fest is so vitally important, because as I said, the forms can be confusing. So I absolutely, again, urge our high school seniors to take advantage of the help that's out there. These FAFSA Fest events are all over the community. Schools, libraries, all centers, and they're all at different times. There are more opportunities than ever this year, I understand, so there is no excuse if you can't find at least one that can fit your schedule. You don't know how much financial aid you qualify until you try. You won't know. You won't know. That's why you have to fill the form out. And the FAFSA form is a way to help you find out what you're eligible for. So we have to make that effort. So again, thanks again to everyone for contributing this year. I know each of us here today will be getting the word out to high school students that we know. And I have seen some very nice flyers around. Patrick, make sure you guys get a media, make sure you zoom in on that flyer and put that on your newscast. So everybody here, we thank our media for being here. You gotta get out there and spread the word. Now I'm gonna welcome to the podium someone who, as if she doesn't have enough to do, I'm always giving her more to do as well. The president and CEO of our Urban League, coming off a very successful Interrupt Racism event, Dr. Chanel Hawkins.
Thank you, Mayor Evans. He keeps me busy, but we never say no because we're all in. We are all in. I want to thank you, Amy and Dr. Peluso. The Urban League is proud to be a partner to this initiative. When we say Rochester can also collaborate. This is what we do well. And the Urban League of Rochester is proud to be a partner to help bolster FAFSA applications. We all know how important it is for our community to have access to college. As the mayor said, not everyone will want to go to college, but everyone should have an opportunity to get as much money as possible. So the Urban League is proud to be a partner. I want to thank Torian Uthman because he came and said, we must do this. We must incentivize our families to fill out that FAFSA. So not only are we partnering, but for the 6 top schools that bolster their numbers, the Urban League will offer 1 student at each school, each of the 6 schools, a scholarship, and we're proud to do that. Additionally, we are removing barriers. As the mayor said, transportation has been a barrier. The Urban League is going to shuttle students back and forth to the R Center to ensure that there is no opportunity to keep them away from filling out that form. So I want to thank all of our partners. Rochester we can collaborate, we can do this together, and I'm grateful for all of the partners that are committed to bolstering the FAFSA application rates in our city. Thank you.
Good morning. I am happy to be here today, and I'm happy that our recreation centers are able to serve as a venue for this year's FAFSA Fest. As everyone has talked about already, the FAFSA is not a simple application, and having support is very important for our young people. I myself have had the opportunity to work with my two young people, my own children, to fill out the FAFSA, and even with understanding the process, there were challenges. And so I encourage our families to take advantage of the opportunity at our centers and in our public libraries. It's our goal to meet our youth and families where they are. We often ask them to come to us. This is an opportunity for us to meet them where they are. And as we've heard, transportation will not be a barrier, and I want to thank the Urban League for that opportunity. We want to make sure our high school students can access these opportunities. It's great, but it's not enough that schools talk about the value of college. It's important that the city open our doors to encourage the opportunity for those who want to access college. We've also often heard the phrase, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. We don't want to waste our young people's minds because of lack of funding, and completing the FAFSA is a way to ensure that our young people have access to college. So I join Mayor Evans in thanking everyone who is a part of this effort, and I look forward to seeing more of our young scholars get the financial aid that is readily available to them. Let's make sure we get the word out. Thank you. And now I will turn it over to Mary Gilbert.
Good morning. My name is Mary Gilbert. I'm a school counselor at East High School, and I have worked with RCAN for, since its inception, I think, working on FAFSA Fest events in the community of Rochester. The City of Rochester, as we all know, is an incredibly diverse and vibrant population, and our students are brimming with potential. As a counselor at East High School, I've often heard from my really brilliant seniors that they will be the first in their families to go to college. As I think every adult here has already said, that FAFSA process can be a daunting one. The prospect of college itself, for most students, first generation or not, can be daunting. The idea of facing the FAFSA alone has been a barrier to some of our families, and we firmly believe that the process itself, the process of applying for financial aid, should not be an obstacle. If you've made it through high school and you've done the work and you've gained admission to some of our wonderful local and New York State institutions and beyond, applying for financial aid and getting assistance to actually afford college should not be the thing that keeps you from going. RCAN in the past several years has supported hundreds of Rochester students and their families get through this process. And I am really pleased that we at East High School will host the kickoff event of FAFSA Fest season this year on Monday, October 17th from 3:30 to 6:30. Thank you.
Are there any questions about the FAFSA Fest that we can answer?
Who is this open to? Is it open to people only at RCSD, or
It is open to all students throughout the city of Rochester.
not Monroe County though?
We will not turn anyone away.
So it's open to all students? And
Yes.
maybe,
When families come in, who is exactly providing the help?
That's a fabulous question. We have both professionals from our schools and from local colleges doing that, folks that serve in admissions and folks that serve through financial aid, as well as a number of trained volunteers. So if anyone is looking to volunteer, we are eager to have as much help as possible in order to have as many people as possible fill out that form. And there will be a training session offered for that at REOC on October 12th at 5:30.
Sometimes families may feel, my parents make too much, why should I take the time to go down there and do this? Why should they, because there's great lots, is there not?
There is never a reason not to fill it out because you just don't know. Always fill it out. It provides choice and opportunity. It'll be an hour well spent that will serve folks well beyond. So these events are primarily focused on the FAFSA and the TAP form. However, we will be having a drop-in session at the library in February for all sorts of help. And if families go to the RCAN, the rochestercan.org website, there's opportunities to sign up for help beyond, way before February. Any other questions? Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.